Today, we're going to dive into a problem that is, well, as old as time itself. That huge, frustrating gap between what we want to do and what we actually do. And we're going to look for the answer in a pretty cool place, the wisdom of the ancient samurai.
So does this sound familiar? You've got these massive goals, right? Things you dream about achieving. But when it comes time to actually do the work, something just gets in the way. You find yourself putting it off, always waiting for that perfect moment that never seems to arrive.
If that just hit a little too close to home, listen, you are definitely not alone. This is a classic human struggle. And to really get our heads around it, let's start with a story about a young man with all the ambition in the world who fell into a trap that I think many of us will recognize.
Okay, so let's meet Yuki. He's a young samurai in feudal Japan, and his story is the perfect, maybe even painful example of what happens when big dreams don't have the backup of small, everyday actions.
I mean, Yuki's ambitions were absolutely huge. He didn't just want to be a warrior. No, he was going to be the greatest warrior. He spent all his time talking about his grand plans, reading epic stories, just daydreaming about his future victories. And he honestly believed that just wanting it that badly would be enough to make it happen.
But here's the catch, right? When the sun came up and it was actually time to grab his sword and get to work, suddenly there was always a reason not to. Oh, it's too cloudy. Or, I don't feel 100%. Or maybe, I just need to strategize a bit more before I start. Sound familiar?
So years passed. And you know what happened. His dreams got bigger and bigger, but his skills, they didn't budge. He watched younger warriors, the ones who just showed up every day, quickly blow past him. He'd fallen into the dreamer's trap. And this is the gut punch of a lesson he learned. His ambition, with no action, hadn't made him stronger. It had become a poison.
You know, Yuki's story isn't just some old cautionary tale. It's actually a window right into our own brains. It pulls back the curtain on a powerful myth that so many of us buy into, the myth of motivation. And get this, there's actually some real brain science behind this. When we talk about our goals or we make detailed plans, our brain gives us a little hit of dopamine. It feels good. It's like we're getting a reward, which creates this total illusion that we're making progress before we've even done a single thing.
So here's the absolute key. We have to learn the difference between just preparing and making real progress. All that endless planning and talking, a lot of the time it's just procrastination in a clever disguise. It feels productive, but all it really does is make that gap between wanting and doing even wider, burning through our most precious resource, time.
Okay, wow, that sounds a little bleak, doesn't it? It's like we're biologically wired to get stuck just thinking about things. So, the million-dollar question is, how on earth do we break out of this loop and actually start getting things done?
Well, the answer lies in a complete, radical shift in how we look at things. It's an idea championed by legends like the swordsman Miyamoto Musashi. It's all about adopting what we'll call the warrior's mindset, and it completely flips our whole idea of motivation upside down.
Just look at this breakdown. The dreamer, they're always waiting for motivation to strike like lightning, waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect weather. The warrior, they know that's a fool's game. They act first because they know that action is what creates motivation. They don't wait for the rain to stop. They just start walking. It's not about inspiration. It's about discipline.
This right here, this is the absolute core of it. We get this backward all the time. We think we need to feel motivated to get started. But the samurai knew the truth. Action itself creates momentum, and it's that momentum that lights the fire we call motivation. See? Action is the cause, not the effect.
All right, so that's a great concept, but how do you actually put it into practice? It's not like you can just flip a switch and have more discipline. Well, lucky for us, the samurai had a very specific and beautifully simple method for this. It's called Kaizen Nomi. Kaizen Nomi. It literally just means the way of small improvements. And the whole idea is so simple. Stop getting paralyzed by staring at the giant, intimidating top of the mountain. That's just going to freeze you in place. Instead, you focus only on the very next tiny step you can take right now.
Let me show you how it works. So imagine a student who just feels way too lazy to train. Instead of trying to force himself into some grueling 2-hour session, he just commits to doing one single sword form every morning. Just one. It sounds almost silly, right? His friends might even laugh. But he does it every single day. And over time, that tiny, consistent action builds real discipline. It builds momentum. And pretty soon, he actually wants to do more.
And this brings us to the final, and maybe the most powerful lesson from the samurai way. It's about really understanding what's at the root of our inaction, and making a conscious choice to value our commitments more than we value our feelings of comfort.
Let's just be honest with ourselves for a second. When we say, "I just don't feel motivated," what are we really saying? A lot of the time, what we mean is, "I'm scared." We're afraid of how uncomfortable it's going to be to start. We're afraid of the resistance we'll feel. Or we're afraid we won't get a quick reward. Discipline isn't about feeling good, it's about doing it anyway. I love this quote from the great swordmaster Yagyu Munanori. It just says everything, doesn't it? If you're always waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect feeling, you'll wait forever. And all your potential, your talent, they'll just stay locked away, never used.
So the ultimate takeaway here is this. Stop trusting your feelings to be your guide. Your emotions are unreliable, they change with the weather. Instead, put your trust in your commitments. Build systems, build habits, build things that run whether you feel like it or not. That is where real, unbreakable strength comes from.
So, what if you just adopted this as your personal mantra? What if every morning you said this to yourself? The power to act without waiting for permission from your feelings, that is the power to build the life you actually want. It's the difference between being a dreamer and being a warrior. And that choice, well, that's always up to you.